right, so introductions. I'll let you go first.
All right. Yep. I am Cal, or go by ZekIram. Um, man, how long have I been playing shooters? Probably since I was one. So that's 23 years of shooters. Good lord. 1 year where I couldn't. Um, use esports for 6 years, not including the little bit of Call of Duty beforehand. And yeah.
All right. Not to mention, he's what is it? Top
Yeah.
200.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Not quite that high in WoW, but was top 200 Overwatch, Onyx, and Halo, as well as you being that.
Yep. Top 250 Overwatch. Yeah. And all right, I'm probably just gonna cut that out. But I'm Jesse. Promise of Us. I've been gaming for not seriously until about 6, 7 years ago because internet stuff. But I've been playing. I was a long time Call of Duty fan. Recently changed around 2019. Stopped playing for a few years. Started playing other stuff. That's when I got to Halo. Halo, I got Onyx. Was in the top 1200, I think.
Something like that. We got pretty high.
Yeah, we got pretty high. Played with him in Overwatch. Got some. He's got some SUNY and ECAC wins for Overwatch and for League of Legends. So yeah, let's get on with. So how did you like the beta and the playtest? Because you played in the playtest too, right?
Yeah. The playtest and the beta, phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. I would compare it to the amount of playtime that I gave Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, which
Mm-hmm.
were the big hits. Um, I loved it, and I kind of have a little bit of withdrawals without playing it for a bit.
You want to talk about withdrawals, man?
Yeah, I love the game. I like the abilities. The gunplay feels great,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super smooth.
It feels like a lot better version of like Black Ops 4 is what it gives me. I'm not sure if you played Black Ops 4.
I feel like it's the better gunplay, like you're saying, Black Ops 4, or
The
the
movement too.
gameplay of the movement.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that the cooldowns are certainly shortened from Black Ops 4, because that was the downside of that.
Right, right. You also had like the manual heal in Black Ops 4 with the stim. I thought that was dumb, but
Yeah,
that was
no,
horrible.
that was bad.
But yeah, I also had a very positive experience with it. I was the one who got you on it, really. I told you about it. And yeah, I couldn't get myself off of it. The only reason I would ever stop playing it was just to go to work. And I was streaming it other than that. And yeah, it gave me an itch that needed scratching since I stopped playing COD. And then I played XDefiant, and it just like it was rubbing me the right way, man. It felt great. It felt like I was a teenager again, playing Call of Duty for the first time again, and it was just so much fun. You go into lobbies. The lobbies were amazing. You would have decent lobbies. You would have easy lobbies, and then once in a while you get a lobby, and it would actually challenge you. And I think that's what it should be. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Like, absolutely should have that occasional
Yeah, like the
challenge by being
fun
challenged.
lobbies and hard lobbies. You shouldn't have to go into every lobby expecting to have to basically play a ranked match without the reward. Like I never really got that. But yeah, I think we can go on to the next thing. I hope XDefiant really blows up and becomes a really good competitor for all the other arena shooters out there like Call of Duty. I think it's gonna
Oh,
make a
I absolutely hope so.
yeah, I think it's gonna make a really big splash, and I really hope it takes off from there.
I think it also helps X Defiant with what it is going for, is the fact that we're gonna get into it next, but the whole aspect with what Call of Duty is right now. But also then you got Ubisoft, they got Siege, they got what is it? the Division,
The Division,
and
yep.
other shooters, Ghost Recon. They got really solid shooters, and this is just another one, another type of styling that they have the competitive, they got the casual, and this fits both of those. I
Yeah,
feel.
it seems as they're taking aspects from all their other games and putting it into this one, like with the factions and stuff. The sky is the limit if you think about it, because Siege also had like that kind of zombie game mode, the zombie-esque one. I forget what it was called. Do you remember what it was called?
For Siege,
Actually, I can Google it
it
real
wasn't
quick.
something like Extraction, was it?
I think it was Extraction. Siege zombies. Let me look at this.
Because there's like some quarantine stuff.
It was R6 Extraction. Yep. So they could
I'm surprised I know
implement that, because I know the zombie community is dying for stuff right now for Call of Duty, because what they have now is all right. Like it's not insane or anything. It's an open world zombies. You know, it's not round based. You pretty much just go in, do whatever you want. It doesn't really have much depth to it, but
It's not like your Ascension, Call of the Dead, stuff like that. It's none of those.
Yeah. I think if XDefiant was gonna pump something out like that, it'd definitely be later into release, like a lot later, because with the way that the roadmap is right now, I think it's pretty full, especially since they've been under the radar for quite a bit.
The roadmap surprised me that they had it that fleshed out of what their plan's going to be, and I think that's a major benefit of being transparent to the community with that.
Exactly, and that's another thing about XDefiant that's great, is if they can keep being as transparent as they have been, because I don't know about you, but I've never seen another game studio talk to us about the inner workings of what's going on with their game. Like Mark Rubin on Twitter has been very vocal about what's going on. He's been giving consistent updates. He's talked to us about the game process and everything, you know, like going through submission and how long it takes for submission to happen. I never knew about submissions. I didn't even know. I knew that stuff had to be obviously submitted to like Xbox and PlayStation and Sony, all of them. But I didn't know that it could necessarily fail. Like, I guess that makes sense, but it just really brought it to light in my brain. Like, hey, it takes a while. Most games fail the first time. I didn't know that. I didn't even know games would fail at all. I figured that they were good right off the beta. You know what I mean? Because that's pretty much what we've been given for the past few years.
Yeah, it's the assumption that it's just, yeah, you make the game and it just goes.
Exactly. It's like, it's there. Like, what are you going to do? And actually, I can pull up the roadmap right now.
While you do that, I think it's definitely a testament for how they've been doing the roadmap and being transparent with the people, because World of Warcraft has only started to be transparent with the people with Dragonflight. It took them, what, a whole 16 or 17 years
A
to
long
really
time.
and even that's less transparent than XDefiant already is.
Yep.
And that's a major game, like Blizzard made WoW. Huge game.
Look at Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty has been around for how many years? They're probably the longest lasting shooter franchise on the market, besides for maybe CSGO. CSGO is definitely older, right? Like, it's gotta be. But
yeah,
even they're not very transparent. Like, the number one thing I saw was, hold on a second, let me see if I can, there it is. All right. So then this is an update that Call of Duty put out for their ranked, which actually just happened like a couple days ago. The first day that ranked was supposed to release for Call of Duty, and they had to delay it.
oof. And like, it doesn't even tell you what it is, so you can try and guesstimate how quick it's going to be a fix or how major it was. It's just, hey guys, issue.
Exactly. It's just like, hey, by the way, we're gonna have to delay this, which I don't know if you paid attention or anything, but Call of Duty right now has like a set interval of when things are released. They're a multi-billion-dollar studio, and they can't even have all of their content released within the same week. Like,
Yeah,
we had, We had a multiplayer campaign, and then a couple weeks later we got Warzone, and now a couple weeks later we get Call of Duty with the new update that came out with was it like season 1 Resurgence or something like that, and it basically broke the game. There was tons of bugs that happened. Apparently it affected ranked because they had to shut down ranked for a day. And it's just like, what is going on? They have so many more like sources that they can stem from to solve these issues or have them not even pop up in the first place, but it just seems like they just don't care enough to really do that. And it's got to be upper management, because I can't imagine devs wanting to put out updates like these.
Yeah.
But dude, just and it's just so vague. Unforeseen circumstances. What are they? We want to know. We want to know what the problem was. We want to know how this is happening.
From an outside source, that's basically telling me, tell me you don't know what the issue is without telling me you don't know what the issue is.
I mean, I guess
Which
it seemed to be
more
a
worries
pretty simple fix, because about the next day it got released, but everyone is really angry. Are we talking delayed later today or delayed days or weeks? Like, they didn't even give us a timeline. They just said it's just going to be delayed while they investigate, which very well could have been weeks, and we wouldn't have even known. They probably wouldn't have even told us. And then you go to Mark Rubin here. Look at all this information he gave us. Look at all this. He notes it down, and then he gives us a solid paragraph for each thing that they're implementing. Like, this is what we ask for when we want an update from a game that's supposed to be quote-unquote live service.
A game dev doing game dev stuff to help the players.
And what's even funnier is that Mark Rubin used to be the EP for Call of Duty.
Was he really?
Yes. Isn't that crazy? So for this, if you guys don't want to read it all, basically they're saying this was, when was this posted? This was posted December 5th. So this is the most recent update that we've gotten so far. They finally fixed the party system, or they think they're testing it. And I guess the original problem was with their party system. It wasn't working very well going between crossplay, but it seems like they've implemented a new one that has been used in other Ubisoft games, and it's been proven to work. So they're working on that. And the new netcode, in the, was it the last beta or the last playtest? It was the last playtest.
Last playtest. There was also working on it.
Yeah, there was a bug with the movement that the developers actually had no idea about it. And I realized that whenever I first loaded in. I loaded in and I started like sliding around, and I realized that the movement felt very, very off. And it turns out that there was a bug where you would slide. It would cause frame spikes, which then would cause like game stutter. And the devs had no idea, and the players came out, complained about it, or told them about it, and they were able to solve that. And they had no idea. They would have never have known if they didn't have that playtest, which is another thing. And then they actually decided to completely swap from their original server structure and go into Linux, which I think is a really good idea. As a information technology major myself, Linux server structure is so good. It's so much more streamlined. It's a lot more simple, and it's easier to change stuff once you're in there. So them doing this is actually really big. As he says, it'll improve server stability and make the server scale up and down and handle load much faster. So I'm really looking forward to how these changes are going to work out, which we should be getting a playtest very soon. So hopefully this works out.
Definitely should be. I'm excited to see how it's going to be, because if they fix the issues, which it looks like they're going to, and they have from previous betas and playtests already, along with the time that they're doing it, where they're just refining it. It's not like they're trying to re-change it. It's other games are trying to re-change their game, rebrand it, remake it entirely. Like,
I mean,
mess with now. They're just straight up refining
exactly.
it, and that I love.
And if you look at the complaints, there is little to no complaints about the game in terms of like movement. As besides at the beginning. At the beginning, movement was a very like uh potential downfall that people were saying, but that was only because of one of the classes, Libertad. It had the self heal, which also gave movement speed. And you know what they
Yeah.
did? They got rid of the movement speed. They got rid of the movement speed buff for it, so there's no more movement speed, so you couldn't abuse it. And I haven't heard really any other actual gameplay complaints about it, um, other than aim assist. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Some people have had some hot takes about aim assist.
I need to. I literally had all of these up here, and now they're gone. It's not here. So here, somebody is asking if the aim assist is too strong or just right for XDefiant. To which I replied, in my opinion, it takes skill to aim to the point you actually have to move your right stick, unlike with COD. Because aim assist in Call of Duty is insane right now. It actually blows my mind loading in from just like the multiplayer aim assist to their Warzone aim assist. I don't know if you played Warzone recently on a controller.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
disgustingly high. I'm a controller player. Like, I'm okay with that, but I've also played mouse and key for quite a while. Like, for the past 4-ish years, I've played on mouse and key as well as on controller. And I
Yeah,
saw it.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it to a point on Warzone where it actually is not fair. Like, that's actually crazy, the stuff that you can do with the controller on Warzone specifically. The multiplayer, it definitely needs down tuning on rotational aim assist. Like, I don't have to move my right stick at all most of the time. But yeah, I feel like everyone is somewhat agreeing with this. You know, you got the trolls wouldn't know the game hasn't dropped, but they could have just played in the open playtest. But a lot of people are saying it's fine, perfectly balanced, it's fine where it's at. I honestly think that the aim assist, or just controller versus mouse and key in XDefiant, is probably the most balanced out of any of the FPS shooters right now.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I've talked to a few mouse and keyboard players myself in some of the XDefiant servers, which you guys should join. They're pretty fun in there.
They're also
And
very well made and maintained by mods.
yes, there's always mods on 24/7. So if you guys have any questions or anything related to the game, they can somewhat answer it. They don't have any information on when the game is going to release, obviously, because they're just Discord mods. They get like a little bit of know-how, but not like a lot. But yeah, the Discord servers are very good. You guys should definitely join those. And yeah, there was also a video going around Twitter. It was from Exo Ghost. I don't know if you guys know him on Twitter or not, but he actually ended up deleting his Twitter, so I don't have the clip that he shared before. But it had
he just deleted the whole Twitter over it.
Yeah, there was some stuff going on with him, I guess, and I didn't really pay attention. I just went back to my profile to look at the video so I could pull it up here, and it's gone. It's just gone. Post unavailable. But yeah, it basically had somebody who used to play Call of Duty or was playing Call of Duty. They tried XDefiant, and they tried aiming at range with XDefiant's like M4, and it's like one of the easiest guns to control recoil on. And he missed like every single shot on a somewhat far enemy that was also on a head glitch. And
but also staying completely still.
yeah, it was really funny. And then he basically just completely rage quit. He exited out of the game, alt F4'd basically, and said that this game's dog shit and that I'm gonna go back to Call of Duty. So I feel like that really shows how much casualness is catered to by the Call of Duty community right now.
Yeah, like there's a level of aim assist. It's alright and it's enjoyable, and that's where it was earlier Call of Duties. Man, my aim assist for speech is almost as bad as some Call of Duty games. Aim assist didn't feel like it was overbearing back then, and now it's so overbearing that people crutch it, like hard crutch it. And the issue with that is it doesn't feel rewarding when you actually hit the shot of, oh, I actually hit the shot. It's kind of like the system just playing the video game for you. And
Right.
that's the baseline of his argument is, oh, well, it doesn't feel like it's basically giving me the shots. And that's just wrong. That, no.
Yeah, it should. Any gunfight should come down to the skill of the person behind their choice of input. It just so happens that one choice of input needs to have a little bit more help because you're aiming with a thumb and a thumbstick, which doesn't really have that much range of motion. So of course, aim assist is needed in some capacity. But obviously, Call of Duty, I'll even say Halo Infinite, although no one really plays it on mouse and keyboard. Halo Infinite has really, really high aim assist. It's just that no one really plays it on mouse and key. And
Yeah.
Call of Duty, the finals actually had a problem with aim assist, I guess, and they came out with a patch and they actually nerfed aim assist a little bit. So that was interesting to see a game actually looking at aim assist and nerfing it.
Which, you know what, that's completely fair. If you feel like your game has a little bit too much of something and you nerf it,
Mm-hmm.
completely fair game.
Yep.
I feel like some people just feel like it should be obscenely high, and that's just not every game.
Nope. And I don't
But
think it
yeah,
should be extremely high anyway, because then it gives a false sense of like you're good. You're not really that good. But Apex also had something going on with the aim assist where they decreased aim assist. If you had a controller plugged into a PC, you were using a lower aim assist than you would plugged into a console. I forget what the exact values. I'm pretty sure on PC it was 0.6 or 0.5, and on console it was 0.7 or 0.8. So they did that.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like we can segue into skill-based matchmaking in XDefiant and how that is. So this is from Mark. He's responding to the post that I showed before. He says that there will be no skill-based matchmaking in the normal playlists. We'll have a welcome playlist for players under level 25 that will have skill-based matchmaking, but all other playlists won't have skill-based matchmaking. Ranked will have ranked-based matchmaking. So essentially, if you want, this is completely optional, there will be a welcome playlist with skill-based matchmaking. After level 25, you can't access it anymore, and you will be going into ping-based matchmaking. So you'll get matched with people with similar ping, and if they can't find you with similar ping, it will then go to... here it is. So low ping is definitely better. It's not the only thing to consider. Ping differential is also important. So a match where you have 25 ping and the rest of the lobby has 10 to 100 ping is bad. But a lobby where you had 50 ping and everyone else has around the same will be better, which I completely agree with this. Everyone should have around the same amount of ping when you load into a lobby. It reminds me of a Black Ops 2 system. Black Ops 2 had people, or actually I think all of the older ones had ping-based matchmaking, no?
Roundabout, yeah. I think they definitely did.
I can't believe I just called Black Ops 2 old, bro. Oh my god.
I know. But I completely agree about the ping based because at home, my parents would definitely call me out on this. Whenever I lag on something because I play competitively and I try the hardest on like anything that I do, except for when I'm just vibing on like Minecraft. Like, let's be real, it's Minecraft. World of Warcraft, Halo, Call of Duty, Destiny. The slightest bit of lag tilts me.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I get so upset over it.
Me.
And yeah.
my first internet was actually internet called Blue Buffalo. Not to throw any shade at them. I don't even think they're a company anymore, to be honest. But it was satellite Wi-Fi because I lived in a very very rural part of New York, and
Yeah.
it was impossible to play games or like load a web page. It was really bad, and I really wanted to play with my friends and stuff from high school, and I would try and play like Fortnite was basically impossible. I couldn't build or anything. This was before no builds. Um, I would play
Oh, I
Titan.
remember that time.
Yep, I would play Titanfall 2, and Titanfall 2, I would have like 700 plus ping, and I would still somehow get kills. I don't even know how I managed to do it. But yeah, definitely having someone having this system sounds really good because Call of Duty has something right now where it's like you search for a match and it says searching for games that are less than a certain amount of ping that you have. But I just feel like that's I don't even know why that's there because obviously they don't use it because it's completely skill based. Like I've been in games where I'll have like 30, 60 ping and somebody like three different people on the enemy team have single digit ping and it's like okay, so what do I do here? I know it's skill based anyway, but it just doesn't feel very good to play in lobbies like that. But this sounds like a very very good averaged out system.
Yeah. I never felt bad with the skill in any of the games I played when it was ping based. Like, I think the one that started skill based matchmaking for Halo was Halo 5. And that one was, I'd say, the only one that I really ran into lag issues.
Well, we can talk about Halo right now. Halo's skill based matchmaking is horrendous.
Oh, it's
It is
terrible.
awful.
Terrible.
I would say it's worse than Call of Duty at this point. Halo skill based matchmaking is a different type of bad. I don't even think it's skill based. I would say it's engagement based at this point because you load into some games, you know, you get like maybe one other teammate that's doing somewhat decent. You have like 25 kills in Slayer. Your teammate maybe has like 10, 15, and then the other two teammates come up with the other single digits to get to what you need to get to. And then the other team is just really bad. They don't even get above 10 kills. And then you load into your next game, and you're struggling with a 15 kills in Slayer. The rest of your teammates barely have 5 kills, and then the other team has like 3 people with 15 plus kills, and you're just like, what is going on? What just happened to my lobbies since the last game?
Oh, yeah, here's your totally enjoyable play experience.
It's just, I don't get that. I think it's severely flawed, and I feel like XDefiant is going to wake up these companies and make them revert back to what it should be in a sense. And yeah. So back to Call of Duty.
Yep.
Let's look at the problems that Call of Duty has been having lately. So we already talked about how they had the launch delay and how it's just so stupid they didn't give any information about it. They're like, oh, by the way, delayed. Also, cheaters in Call of Duty are absolutely insane. Have you seen this? Hold on, let me see if I can find this. This is insane. There's an actual spin bot.
I haven't seen one of those in ages.
They have an actual spin bot in Call of Duty now. And this was a TikTok ad. This is a live TikTok ad from somebody who made these sheets and is streaming it. And this guy is not banned yet. Like, how does that make sense?
So you got stuff like this, but then you also have cheaters in other shooters. I can actually think of one. PUBG.
Oh, yes.
And there's been some, but it's about weekly is when there's more cheaters banned.
Right.
It's as fast as an MMO does its patches and weekly updates, is as fast as they get more cheaters. And I don't think I've ever seen Call of Duty do that. Not that fast, not that effective.
Yeah, it's
It's maybe every 3 months.
I mean, there's this post back here where somebody's talking about this guy's saying that they're non-existent, and people are saying that they run into cheaters 10 to 15 times a day, which obviously probably isn't true. You got to think with skill-based matchmaking now, people think that they are somewhat decent at the game when they're really not, because they're always playing in the same lobbies. They're not really experiencing what better players are like anymore. But you got to think, at least one of those accusations is probably true. So even running into one cheater a day is like not okay. that's just not right. Considering that the longest game session that most people probably play is probably about 3 or 4 hours. That's like 15 minutes gone out of those 3 or 4 hours just because of one cheater.
And that just absolutely doesn't feel good in any sense of it.
Nope. And I'm actually worried because Call of Duty right now, they have Ricochet, which obviously doesn't work as well as they want it to. And then you look at games like Valorant with their kernel level anti-cheat. And I don't think I have ever ran into a cheater on Valorant. I've seen maybe a total of 10 different clips in about the 3 years that the game has been out where there was actually a cheater.
Yeah.
Like, it is extremely hard to be able to get cheats through Vanguard, which is the anti-cheat software for Valorant, because it is kernel level. And the only way to get around it is to find a cheating software that is also able to install and inject at the kernel level before Vanguard is able to do it. That's the only way they're able to get cheats, and it's very expensive. So that makes sense why there's not that many cheaters. It's very expensive. But I'm hoping that XDefiant is going to be free to play. So there's definitely going to be cheaters. Just how many is a question. And if they are also going to have an external, or not external, a kernel level anti-cheat. Because I know BattleEye for Rainbow Six is kernel level. But again, BattleEye sucks. So I hope they don't have BattleEye. I hope they go with something a bit better.
Yeah, I've had some issues with BattleEye. I actually got targeted by BattleEye. And it wasn't because I was cheating, it's because I dared to have a Google Chrome page up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just had music on in the background, and it targeted me.
I know right now, for Siege anyway, I don't know if this is overall for BattleEye, but it's detecting third-party input devices. So like Zims and Cronus and other like third-party hardware that can be used for cheating and stuff like that. It's detecting those and banning accounts.
Ah, yes, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So if we're able to get that, even that in XDefiant would be great, because I've seen some clips going around Twitter on XDefiant, and I'm like, that doesn't seem humanly possible. But I mean, hey, if we can at least get something that's a deterrent for cheaters, and if cheaters aren't as much of a problem like in Valorant, I think we'll be in an okay spot overall.
And I certainly hope so. From what I've seen, that hope won't be wasted.
Right.
So it's more so of just, dude, I need the game.
I need the game too, man. So going back to mouse and keyboard and controller, I I'm currently in the XDefiant Esports Discord, and I know someone named Harriet on Twitter is currently in charge of that. And they decided that the tournament that they're going to have is going to be cross input. Now, I don't know about that. I frankly wouldn't feel comfortable hosting a cross input tournament. What about you?
So, I would feel uncomfortable if I were the running it because of the way that the inputs work and just because of how early the game is. Granted, it's gone through the betas and the playtests, but still.
Which Mark Rubin has
I
stated we're going to have another playtest. Just don't know
eagerly awaiting.
when.
Um, but I feel like it should work as long as we're thinking of what can go wrong and doing pre we're pre-planning. There we go.
Yep.
That's the word. We're pre-planning for what could possibly go wrong, issues that come up. I think we're gonna be in a very solid spot.
Mm-hmm. I think the number one thing is just, like you said, the inputs are just too different.
Yes.
Like you got one input that is the definition of linear, like a mouse and key. You know, you move your hand, your character on screen moves. You know what I mean? You got key presses that can bind and map to basically anything that you want. You got controllers now that can do that, and you can do that through in-game with button mapping and stuff like that for controller. But it's still not going to get to the point where you're going to be on equal footing with someone on mouse and key, unless you have aim assist, of course, which is where aim assist comes in. But it's still like, what if there's a full team of mouse and keyboard players, and then you got a full team of controller players? The full team of controller players just wins. You know, what are going to be the thoughts after that? They're going to be like, aim assist is broken. This shouldn't have happened. Blah 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 blah. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with that. And then you got the people on mouse and key, where if they win, controller players can be like, oh my god, mouse and key is too broken. They could be zimming. They could have macros, which are cheating, by the way. I'm gonna say right now, macros in any multiplayer game is cheating. You should not be able to map stuff like that on a button press. It's not human.
Take it from a guy who had a Razer mouse. I think it was the Naga Trinity or something, where you got the 3 side panels that you could interchange. I macroed the Titan Skate in Destiny 2. Take it from me, it's cheating. Yes. I could launch myself across the room in half a second purely because I put 15 pieces of code to make me jump and then cancel, and it would just launch me forward.
Right.
There was no playing around it. It's my game just being broken because I decided to use something out of the game. Right.
And there's actually something right now that's happening. An Apex Legend player named, I think was it Designful? He decided to use some software for his controller on the finals that basically made it so that he didn't have as much recoil as he should. So what he did is he went into his controller settings through a third-party software, and he made it so that his dead zones for his controller would always point downward on his right stick. So he had basically always had stick drift going downward.
Direction to counteract the recoil.
Exactly. And I was like, that is definitely cheating. Maybe it wasn't Designful. I'm going to see if I can find this. You talk for a bit.
I feel like that should be immediately banned. Like, yeah, definitely immediate ban if it's used in any competitive way. I think the only time I can ever condone the sense of cheating is if it's a purely single player game where you're only messing with your experience and you know what, just have fun with it. But the moment that it's online and you're playing with other people, nah, that don't fly. That is not okay in any sense. Especially not with the dead zones, because some of the recoil, being able to play around the recoil, that's just part of the skill of the game. You play around it, you pick your gun, pick the gun that you like the recoil of that you can use effectively, and that's just how you play the game.
Exactly. Being able to manipulate your dead zones like that absolutely gets rid of the skill behind like recoil control and stuff. I'm not gonna be able to find the tweet. I don't know if it was designed for or not. I thought that's what I saw. It was definitely an Apex player. I know that. But I mean, I have software on my computer that comes with this new controller called the Scuff Envision. I just have the base model because I'm broke, but it's IQ. It goes through Corsair, and you can mess with dead zones and stuff. I don't even know how to work them or anything, like, but I kind of had to mess with my trigger dead zones. It kind of made me, because when I tried to play Call of Duty with them, my trigger dead zones, I loaded into the game and my gun was shooting by itself. Like I would spawn in and my gun would just keep shooting. I would like spam in and out with my aim because the dead zones are too light. So I kind of had to mess with that. But to the point where you're able to make your dead zones actually manipulate in a certain way to help you in game is just stupid. Like being able to mitigate recoil to a point where it's almost non-existent in a video game like that is just nuts. You can't do that on mouse and key.
Nope.
You can't. Unless you like macro it, which again is still cheating. In a multiplayer perspective, I should say. I think macroing and like, I don't know, WoW, when you're just PvEing, I mean, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, macroing in a game like WoW, that's fair, because you want to have different targets for your abilities. And so you do like focus target or main target or mouse over. MMOs is, I feel, the only place that is likely acceptable.
Or single player games, obviously.
Or single, yeah.
Like if you want to mod your game or whatever and it's single player, if you want to cheat in a single player game, I mean, go for it, bro. Like what?
Like
you're not affecting anyone's fun besides for your own.
I got cheat room and I got lightsabers in Skyrim. I have everyone's.
Oh, you're a cheater. It's on record.
Oh man, I'm cheating with the lightsabers on Skyrim.
But yeah, that was really crazy to see. So what are you gonna do? Content wise, really, the next fight, you're gonna stream it a lot.
Very likely going to stream it a lot. I will likely. I'm looking to start streaming more of like WoW, but it's probably going to be a 50-50. Once XDefiant comes out, then I'm definitely streaming it.
Right.
It's a game I actually enjoy. I used to stream Destiny 2 because I enjoyed it. That game is in its own issues.
Yeah.
So basically, if I enjoy the game, I'll be able to stream it because people like watching people that actually enjoy the games that they play.
Exactly. I know for one myself, I'm definitely going to be streaming it. That's probably going to be the only game that I stream for like a year. unless something happens that I'm not going to like see going forward. But yeah, I got a bunch of 24-hour streams that I want to do. I'm still waiting. Probably day one of the playtest, I'll probably do a 24-hour stream. And I know I want to make some YouTube videos again. I'll probably do some more montages. Probably not have my friend edit it again because that was a little funky. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going on with the game content wise, especially if they're going to be adding a lot of stuff, because right here we have the roadmap that's going to be for year one. So
already planning on adding games and maps is just or guns and maps.
Exactly. So this is preseason. This is basically what we have been playing for like the past, I don't know, since alpha, pretty much. So we've got the normal 24 weapons. We've pretty much all used these. I don't think there's any new weapons. I mean, we had that one. What was it called? The Ram 7 or something, right? It was like a bullpup AR.
I think so. I think you're right on that one.
And then we've got the normal game modes, which they
I didn't use it. I just went with my good old M4 or ACR.
I didn't like it when I used it, but maybe some other people will find it pretty fun. We got our basic maps that we've all played, I'm pretty sure. Factions, DedSec, I love DedSec. And then we got year 1 and what they want to do. So here we got season 1. So this is going to be about, I think they said they're going to have like a month in between preseason and season 1. So here we are going to have a new faction. We're going to get 3 new weapons, 3 new maps, and a 90 tier battle pass. And this seems like it's going to be the theme for the first 4 seasons, which each season I believe is 3 months. So it's about 30 tiers of the battle pass a month. I think it's fine. It looks fine. And it looks like ranked is going to... Yeah.
I love the battle pass. We did the battle pass in that one beta or playtest, and it was
easy.
Very easy to get.
You just did it by playing, pretty much. Yeah. Like you had the challenges over in the corner, but when the game first releases, you're using like every type of weapon anyway. And the challenges were very straightforward. They're not like with Halo, where you have to like
make sure you get this one specific weapon that spawns only on these 2 maps, and you have to 360 no scope somebody with a shotgun 500 yards away. Like,
I'm pretty sure they fixed that a little bit since then, but still, it's very solid. I like how they're not going to have any weapons unlockable through the shop. I'm pretty sure that was confirmed. They're all going to be challenge-based weapon unlocks. So, like with the ACR, if you haven't played the beta or anything, you needed, what was it? Was it 25 long shots with an AR to get the ACR? It might have been 15, more.
But you might be right. I think you're right with the 25. I don't think it was a lot.
Yeah, and then the MP7 was like hip fire kills with SMGs. Like that kind of stuff makes sense to me. Like being able to unlock weapons using the same archetype of a weapon is just so much better than Call of Duty's, where you have to use different weapon types to unlock something on another weapon type.
Like if I like ARs, why am I going to use a sniper to unlock another AR?
Yeah.
Or if I'm using a LMG, I'm going to use an SMG to unlock a DMR, so that the DMR will unlock an AR, where then the AR unlocks the LMG. That's so convoluted.
They also just have like a completely messed up loadout system where you can have 5 different attachments on a gun right now. You get your own perk things, like give me back pick 10, man. And that's pretty much what XDefiant did. You know, how many attachments did you get on a gun? I'm pretty sure you got like 5 or 6 attachments in XDefiant on a gun.
It was 5 attachments, and then you can pick your skin.
Yeah, and then that's it. That's what you get. You pick your faction, you load in, you pick the attachments you want on your primary, secondary. There you go. Pick your skin. you're good to go. You don't have to worry about what ammunition type is meta or anything like that. The guns in XDefiant are so balanced between each other. It's actually crazy how balanced the guns are.
The only other thing you picked was the equipment, like grenades, and that's perfectly fine. That's literally what it should be.
Exactly. And I mean, obviously, actually, there is quite a few broken guns in XDefiant, but I think they're working on that. Like the DMR.
Yeah.
That thing 2-shot from everywhere. Like that was crazy. I thought that was nuts. But
yeah, I think that's just bound to happen. I think that's just the essence of a casual slash competitive FPS. Like that's just going to happen.
Oh yeah, and I actually have a tweet here where Mark is confirming that they want it to be competitive. Like it's advertised as a competitive arena shooter, and that's something we have not seen from Call of Duty at all. They have never once went out there and marketed one of their games as a competitive shooter in any aspect. They've never said it. They've done the opposite. I remember back in Modern Warfare 2019, they were saying, you want to get better at the game? Guess what? Take a claymore and sit behind a door. That's basically what they said. And they tweeted that. And that's just nuts. That they're basically just telling people in an arena shooter to basically just to camp. Like, that's just weird, in my opinion. But
it's so counterintuitive of what arena shooter is supposed to be.
Exactly. I feel like Call of Duty has really lost touch with what their game is supposed to be, because now it's what? It's like an arena shooter, mill sim, zombie thing. I don't even know, man. They lost a lot of touch. They added doors. That's probably the one thing I'm most mad about is they added doors to the game. It slowed the game pace down probably by like half, just adding doors. Like I don't get that. But
I mean, the other thing is that half the doors also just didn't work.
Yeah. Like there's some doors that look like, oh hey, this building I can walk into has a door on the outside and it's got like bars around it and shit, and you can't even open it. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. And then you also got, I feel like Warzone kind of ruined Call of Duty in that aspect, where they kept adding, they basically just sliced up the Warzone map at the time in Modern Warfare 2019 and kind of just threw those out as multiplayer maps. And they did that with Modern Warfare 2 as well. And it doesn't make for fun gameplay. Like there's 20 different windows you have to watch out. There's like 6 different main lanes that you have to watch. You got all these different doors. Like, I don't know. It's too much for that to happen. And then you had like the gunsmith thing. And it just added so many different elements to the game that didn't need to be there. It's an arena shooter. It should be fun. Look back at Black Ops 3. It had a pick 10 system. You had fucking jetpacks. You had specialists with like the gravity hammer stuff, dude. Like, come on. The gravity spikes.
Spikes, yeah.
Like, that shit was fucking cool, man. That was so much fun. And it was skill expressive, because if you weren't good at utilizing the jetpack and utilizing the abilities, you weren't good at the game. Which made sense. And I know like a lot of the older generation probably doesn't like that opinion. But fuck you. The game was great. Black Ops 3, probably the last good Call of Duty, minus Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was pretty good, I think. But besides that, Black Ops 3, probably the best Call of Duty of all time. And it had jetpacks. It had a very in-depth zombies game mode. It's still being used today. People modded the hell out of it. So you can play literally any zombies you want in Black Ops 3 right now. You can play Black Ops 2 zombies in there, Black Ops 1 zombies. You can play Minecraft zombies in Black Ops 3 right now. It's nuts with the amount of stuff that they can do with the older games, but you can't play multiplayer because your game literally gets hacked. When they reopened the Xbox 360 servers, or no, it was the servers on Steam, right? You would play Black Ops 2 public matches on Steam, and people would literally malware you from the lobby. And the game is still full priced on Steam. It's just, I don't understand their thinking behind that. Let's see how much Call of Duty is right now. Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. Black Ops 3 is still $60. Cold War is still $60. Black Ops 2 is still $60. Call of Duty Black Ops, $40. Like, you got all these games that are like over 10 years old and you're still selling them for full price. I don't understand how they don't have the money to make these issues not issues that they currently have. But hopefully XDefiant can look at those mistakes and really, you know, not follow in their footsteps when it comes to that.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest fear, is that it does happen, but
Exactly. But
it's also super easy not to have happen.
as long as they keep following the trend that they're doing, besides for not releasing the game, get rid of that trend. Make it come out tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
I want to play, bro. I feel like a crack addict. I need to play it. But, yeah, I feel like the direction that it's heading in now seems like a really good one. They're being very patient with it, which some people are not liking, you know, claiming hype is dying and stuff. The hype is not dying. The hype is still there. The devs are still talking. I'm still in contact with people from XDefiant, Discords and stuff like that. Everyone still wants to play. It's just that we've accepted the fact that it's going to take time to come out. They want to make it, they said themselves they don't want to make a perfect game. It's impossible to make a perfect game, but they want to make it good on launch, which we haven't had a good game launch in forever. I mean, we've had non-AAA titles do better releases than AAA titles. We've had Baldur's Gate, which was a very good release, very successful, one game of the year. And we've got, oh my god, what's that new horror one where people can join in?
The horror game I'm thinking of is Dead by Daylight.
No. Definitely not Dead by Daylight. It's, oh, jeez, man. It has more...
That's a pretty interesting game.
It has more sales on Steam right now than Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3. I know that. Oh, dude. All my friends have been playing it. There's no...
Oh, Lethal Company?
Yes, Lethal Company. That game is insane. Like, the amount of sales that game has, and the amount of content that they've been pumping into... Have you realized how much stuff that they've came out with since release of that game?
No.
They've added, like, 6 different monsters already. And they've added, like, some other audio stuff as well. Like, they're adding more to it as they're going. They're in contact with their player base and stuff. And they're just they're an indie company outselling AAA studios and have more complete games at launch than AAA studios.
Jeez.
I think Lethal Company in itself and Baldur's Gate should be a wake-up call for these AAA title companies with how they're conducting their business and how they're looking at their customer base, like their consumers.
At the very least, should worry them.
Exactly. And then I think for a final thought, I want to talk about what in the world? I want to talk about Call of Duty's like competitive scene at the moment, because I know a lot of people are not very happy with how Activision is handling some stuff. Because we've got Optic Scump. He got banned or DMCA'd or something like that by Activision for basically not streaming how they wanted it. So what he did was, I can't find it. So what Scump did was he was streaming from both YouTube, which is where the CDL Activision wants you to stream the games from, and then you've got Twitch, where Twitch doesn't support them anymore. They don't want to stream it on Twitch. They want anyone else streaming it on Twitch. Scump was streaming on both. On one, he had just like him and the other people with him sitting on couches basically and just talking about the game. And then on YouTube, I had them and the game itself, right? And Activision got pissed off basically because they're still streaming on Twitch, and they did the same thing to FaZe Zuma as well. And they sent him like a cease and desist or something like that, and they made him stop streaming on Twitch and basically like banned him from co-streaming the games altogether. Of course, Scump.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course, Scump was able to get it back, but the fact that that even happened in the first place, like Scump himself brings in more viewers, I would argue, than the actual stream itself. Like Scump and Zuma probably make up for 80,000 viewers, and they just completely got rid of them altogether. It's so out of touch. It's insane. But
And right now, the last thing they want to be is out of touch with their player base.
exactly. When you got a game like XDefiant where everyone is still looking forward to it, a lot of people probably have forgotten about it, I will say. Like, I would say a good number of people have probably forgotten about it. If XDefiant can capitalize on what is happening to Call of Duty and get some of their player base, because I can tell you right now, there's probably more than 50,000 people that are willing to play this game today and make solid content for it. But it's just that the game isn't out yet. We have to play another arena shooter because obviously people who want to play XDefiant are fans of arena shooters. And we really only got two options. We got Call of Duty and we got Halo.
Yeah.
One of them is dying, Halo.
Actually, it's looking like Infinite might be turning it around.
Not with the new news I just heard.
Mm.
Yeah, with the new.
There's
Let me
new
see if I can find
news.
it. Yeah, let me see, because I'm pretty sure Mint Blitz tweeted something. This is not what that is. Mint Blitz. So here he says, it's pretty easy to go doom and gloom, but I generally think for overall population, a lot of Halo fans are very jaded from Halo Infinite, will never play it again. Moving on to other games that is feature complete upon launch is one way to win those fans back. So he's essentially saying, give up on Halo Infinite and wait for the next game to come out, and hopefully it's more complete. Like,
Yeah, maybe. My thing is that I see the changes coming with like season 6, and I like how it is. I think the customization could still be better though. Maybe it's me just having a little bit of dim hope for it.
I think
want it to
dead.
be good.
I think dead is a strong word that I use. It's not doing as well as it should, I should say.
I mean, yeah, but even then, I'd still say it's still dead. Isn't that much of a wrong way of seeing it either.
I mean, let's look at the numbers real quick. So we've got. Let me just share my screen, my face real quick while I look this up. So we've got Halo Infinite, Xbox player count. So right now, we've got almost 30,000 people playing Halo Infinite. Over the course of 30 days, Halo Infinite has lost over 76,000 users. Like, that's a pretty big number of people to lose.
I didn't see that number. Ooh.
Yep. And the most amount of viewers that they've had in the Halo category over the past 30 days is only 15,000. Like, it's December. They had. So this is the live player count chart. Here, I can actually share this now. Let me share that. So we've got the player count and everything. Look at this in December.
Oof.
That is horrendous. Like we went from November, which I think was one of the updates, right?
I think so.
With almost a million
October.
people.
I don't think it was November. I think October, because that's when the flood armor sets came out.
Like, and we can look
Because it was
at
before Halloween.
right. We can look at sort of like the trend that we've got going here. It's kind of starting to go down a lot, and I think that has to do with Call of Duty releasing, obviously, probably pulling a lot of these numbers away. But a lot of the content that they're coming out now, like with Mint Blitz is saying, is that 343 is starting to move away from Halo Infinite, like they did with Halo MCC. Tonal shift from seasons content updates and a bigger emphasis on Forge-related content. They're building teams for new Halo game currently. He's happy with 343 adding, but there hasn't been any new weapons since the Bandit. And there's also no more equipment, no more vehicles. Halo Infinite is still very stale, and I think that's what people are starting to notice.
Yeah, I can see where it's stale. Like, one new ability that you can get off a map or stuff like that isn't gonna save it.
There's also
like how we got the quantum translocator. Like, it was good, but that's not gonna save the game itself.
Right. There's also the same thing kind of that's going on with Call of Duty, is that they're not listening to their competitive community.
Yep.
We've got Extraction in Halo, which is a new game mode, or not a new game mode, it's an old. It's sort of like you go to the point, you plant something, the other team has to try and defuse it. It's sort of like search and destroy, but there's respawns, and it's not really round based. It just goes to the next point once you cap it.
Yep.
And people want it to be removed because it's not working properly. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Pros have been, I think, let me see if I can find Spartan's tweet. Because he's the more vocal pro out of all of like the Halo pros, I would say. He kind of just says shit without really caring. And it looks like it was finally removed out of ranked just 2 days ago, after everyone was complaining about it for like the past 2 or 3 months. Like, that is just insane. The fact Distraction is still in ranked when the feedback on the game type is overwhelming and negative, not just by pro players, but the entire community, is actually hilarious when you think about it. This guy, SSG Maythor, I don't give a fuck how much CSR I lose, I'm leaving that shit every time. Like, you have a game type that is just remarkably hated by the community.
Hated, yeah.
And the reason it's hated is because, like, you just got shit that's stupid. Like, you got these plant spots in live fire right now, specifically, where you can plant the spike on top of like a door, and you can't reach it to defuse it. It just sits there until it ticks down, and you get the point.
Yep, that's right. You can also put some of this stuff like the one map, the Halo 4 map, or the Halo 5 map that they redid, where you can put it on the top where camo drops and everyone just has view of it.
Exactly. It's not, I don't think it was made with the intention of being a competitive game mode, but they put it into ranked. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like the pros were just complaining that there wasn't something else, another game type for them to really play with. And they're like, oh, well, we have extraction now. Let's throw this in here. And of course, people are going to find out cheese.
Oh yeah.
And use the cheese they shall.
If there is a way that somebody can cheese the video game, you bet they're gonna use it. Like that's
Exactly. And
a thing.
Halo right now doesn't have a very good ban system. Like, I still have someone on Xbox specifically that has yet to be banned, and he's just blatantly aimbotting with a shock rifle on recharge. And I literally had clips and I sent them into Halo HQ, and he has still yet to be banned. Like, he's still active on Xbox and everything, which I just find astounding. Besides that, there isn't like a good reporting system. Like, you can open tickets, you can report for like menial stuff like cheating and stuff, but I don't think there is an option right now in game to report for exploits, right?
Not in game, no. You actually have to go through the Xbox.
Yeah, you have to go through
service.
the Halo Waypoint ticket thing, which is a nightmare.
I think you can also report them on Microsoft, but the issue with that is you get some people who take cheating to the next level, and I don't know if I think VPN is the wrong thing, but they have it where if you ever click on their profile, it'll redirect you and then delete their profile from you ever searching them up. Because we've had issues with that before where we try to look somebody up and then they just disappear.
Yeah, that was weird, but I don't know if that was a cheat or if that was literally just the servers being ass.
It's definitely one of the things that they use to like prevent them from getting banned.
Yeah, I've seen it before where it just like hides it, because Apex cheaters have used the same thing before.
I was about to use that example.
But
you read my mind. You're a cheater.
Yeah. I know about the software. What of it?
You're cheating on this podcast.
Yes, I am. I got a separate tab open. What's it? I got all these Google Chrome links open, bro. But yeah,
I'm very excited for this game.
I'm very excited as well.
Very solid.
I think it's going to be insane. I think it's going to be great. I saw a tweet earlier saying that XDefiant has been very open with letting small and big creators be part of their content creation group. I forget what it's called. The XDefiant Partners program. They're very open with getting people in there. I'm probably going to sign up myself because I know I'm going to be streaming it a lot. I want to play in tournaments and stuff, which Cal, I believe, is going to join me.
Yep.
And we're still looking for 2 more players.
Still looking for 2.
We're still looking for 2 more players.
Please.
Go to XDefiant eSport Discord. Find my thing. DM me if you want to play. Please be good. Yeah, that's one thing I'm going to say, because we're serious about this. We do want to play, and there is money involved, so we want to do well.
And look, you don't have to be the literal god of the game.
Oh no, they definitely should be the god of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 1v4. Come on.
Yeah. You can carry us old men there, but
old men. We're only 24.
I'm 23.
Oh, pardon.
That's right. Shut up, old man. Anyway.
Oh, back in my day.
Get off my lawn, looking But
back in my day, we had Halo LAN parties.
Back in my day, we were playing on CRTVs.
True.
But yeah, hopefully, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna happen real nice. I'm gonna put our socials on the screen right now, and those are them. And I don't know if I'm gonna do another one. I don't know if Cal wants to join for another one. We just want to get our thought outs there before the actual release of the game. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. It's been about an hour. I'm going to edit it. Probably won't be an hour anymore. Bye. You can also say bye.
Peace out.